same thing with the goalie exchanges with those guys when they go back for retrievals. It's an important aspect of the game, trying to help one another. You got to be the eyes and ears for your partner. A lot of times, your eyes are away from the play, or your eyes are in the glass. And, everybody away from the puck's got to be your eyes and ears for you. And so I just think the players themselves deserve a lot of credit for working at that aspect of the game. It's an important element.
Like, obviously, after the October record, the start you guys had, winning in November was the most important thing. But the way you guys are winning and playing with seeming comfort in low-risk games, but also still being able to do what you do offensively, how important is that too?
I think it's essential. I think we've talked a lot about cutting risk out of our game. It's hard to play. It's hard to win consistently in this league if you're a high risk, high reward team. It just is, and there's such an element of chance. You've got to take care of the puck, and I think it's an important aspect of winning consistently in this league. And we're trying to work diligently at that. I think when you look at the group we have, we're wired for offense. That's just part of our DNA. So our tendency is to want to make plays all the time. And I think it's important that we just don't force plays when they're not there. And I think the players are doing a great job just trying to stay disciplined in that regard and making sure that, we take what the game gives us. And, as I say to them almost daily, we're capable of creating offense different ways. If the opportunity isn't there off the rush, then we've got to be willing to put pucks behind defensemen and then create our offense another way. We can create from below the goal line or below the hash marks in the grind game. Just as well as we can create off the rush. So I just think that has to be part of the fabric of our identity, is just becoming a team that's hard to play against. And the biggest thing for me in being hard to play against is cutting some risk out of your game so you don't give teams easy offense.
Like, even setting aside Ryan Graves' 2 assists, I want to ask you about his defensive play and whether you feel it's come along, it's progressed specifically tonight.
Yeah, I think it is. I think he's getting better and better. I think he's getting more familiar with how we're trying to play. He has great size, as you know. He's got a long reach. He's hard to play against. He just takes up an awful lot of space out there, and so his wingspan is, I think, is effective for him, and he uses his stick really well. For a guy that's as big as he is, he's a fairly mobile guy, and so I just think he's getting more familiar with our team game and how we're trying to play. He's building some chemistry with Tanger, and that's helping him. And so we're hoping that he can continue to build his game and gain traction as he gets more familiar with our team game.
Okay, I know technical questions about the goaltending position are probably best for Andy, but is there anything you can identify that he and Tristan have done the past 2 weeks to help Tristan achieve some of the goals he's enjoyed here the past 2 weeks?
I don't think their process has changed at all. I just think it's just trying to reinforce the right habits. And I think when Tristan's at his very best, I think he reads plays extremely well. I think he's at the top of the blue paint a lot, and that's for me is a real good indication that he's on his game, because he's playing a confident game. When you look, at least from my vantage point from the bench, when he's on his game, you don't see a whole lot of net when you look down at him. That's been the case here the last couple of starts he's had. So he should gain a big boost of confidence, I would think, from this and continue to work at his game. But certainly, I thought he was pretty solid tonight. The last start he had, he was every bit as solid. So he's making timely saves for us each and every night, and that's important to win in this league.
Yeah, Mike, earlier in the season, we asked you a lot about the bottom six and their contributions. It seemed like they had a couple of game-turning shifts early in the game tonight. How would you assess their play tonight, even over the last couple of games?
Well, I just think that, they have to be a group that is tough to play against, and they have to be a group that helps us create momentum. And the way they do that is just to play a north-south game, put pucks deep, use their speed and their size to put defensemen under pressure, create turnovers off the forecheck, and then hang on to pucks in the offensive zone. I think when they do that, they force our opponents to expend energy defending them, they get a couple of looks offensively themselves, and they're able to chip in with a goal here and there, which I think is a big boost for us. But I think more importantly, they're creating a whole lot of momentum for the group when they play that type of a game. They're hard to play against. You know, I think Lars Eller's line has added an offensive dimension. I think Big Z has really helped there. OC his game I think continues to grow and develop, and Lars is a really smart player. You know, I think Cookie's line has been really good. Noah Chari, you know, they're a grind line. You know, they're tough to play against when they get D-zone starts. They block shots, they defend hard, and they're able to drive the puck down into the offensive zone for us. And that's how they help us create momentum as well. So, and then the special teams, I think they've been a huge part of the penalty kill, and I think the penalty kill is making big strides here over the last week or so.
Last one. Speaking of O'Connor, goal for him tonight. He's a guy who definitely had a strong preseason, had to wait a couple weeks to get his first regular season goal. Just what you think of that play, that goal of his tonight, and what have you seen from O'Connor in particular, offensively speaking?
Well, I think he's got a lot of looks. You know, he hasn't scored. Maybe this one will help him. He'll take a little pressure off. I know all these guys put pressure on themselves to score goals, regardless of where they are in the lineup. And OC's one of those guys. But I think he's played really well. He's brought a real consistent effort for us. You know, his speed is noticeable. His size, he leans on people. He's got a long reach. He uses his reach extremely well. And I think he's been a big part of that line also. I think that line in particular, I think, has got a lot of looks offensively. And they're starting to score some goals now, which is great for our group. But you know, hopefully this one will help OC in his confidence.